and welcome to Mock the Week. I'm Dara Breen. Joining me this week are Andy Parsons, Mark Watson and Russell Howard, Frankie Boyle, Hugh Dennis and Michael McIntyre. We start with a round called Headliners. Here's a picture of American presidential candidate Barack Obama meeting Gordon Brown this week. But what does BOTE stand for?
Is it Brown overdoes the ecstasy?
Is it Brown orders tango enema?
I think
You know when you've had a tango enema.
I think it is probably Britain's oddest twins exposed.
Is it Brown impersonates cricket umpires?
Yeah. Not taking the game seriously. Take the game seriously,
It's very
Michael.
difficult to get all the letters right.
You're not getting the rules of this at all, are you?
It's very hard to get the letters according to the words.
That's why it's a quiz!
Is Gordon Brown watching Bill Oddie's tit extravaganza?
To be honest, that is a TV show that needs to be made.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Is it Brown's old Todger explodes?
If it is, it's a shame that they didn't get that in the picture. Yeah.
Right, Mike.
I've got one that fits, I think.
Do the letters match the words you're going to say?
Is it? I thought today we could have actually had Carol Vorderman reveal the letters. She needs the work. Is it Brown orders tree explosion?
Tree explosion?
I think there's very little we can do to help you.
Is it Barack Obama tours Europe?
Yes, it is.
Very good.
The answer I was looking for is Barack Obama tours Europe. This refers to the presidential candidate's recent whistle-stop tour. After visiting Berlin and Paris, he ended his trip in Britain, where he met Gordon Brown, David Cameron and Tony Blair.
There's something of the Messiah about Obama, though. Do you know what I mean? You sort of look at him and you imagine him walking into a room. It's just flowers appearing and rainbows and people leaping out of wheelchairs and women going, "I'm pregnant," through his eyes. And you imagine Gordon Brown walking into a room and all you can see is a dog vomiting. That's it.
There's this thing, isn't there? There's a big fuss because Barack Obama got, what was it, 200,000 people in Berlin? Let's not forget that the last time 200,000 people gathered in Berlin, it was to listen to the most evil man in the world, David Hasselhoff.
This is what worries me about Barack Obama, though. Well, you know, he might well be elected. We don't know. He might be elected in November. He'd never be elected here because his slogan, his campaign slogan, is "Yes, we can," which is the slogan of Bob the Builder. That is quite ridiculous.
Do you know that Gordon Brown gave gave him presents? Obama came, and Gordon Brown gave him 2 books on Winston Churchill and 2 silver picture frames, which immediately stinks of "I forgot to buy my present, wrap shit from the house." And then to give him 2 books on Winston Churchill, if you're getting somebody a book, you need, in case they don't like the book, throw in some variety. It's just classic Gordon Brown. I'll get him a book on Winston Churchill, and if he doesn't like that, I think we'll go for another one on Winston Churchill. What's for dinner? Pasta, but if you don't like that, I can easily whip up some pasta. The man's a complete idiot.
Do you know what he got in return?
Well, nothing, because Obama left them on the plane,
Obama
unbought at duty-free.
Yeah,
right?
Unless he came in and said, "This, in this suspiciously triangular box, is a gift I bought you." Yeah, it's a Toblerone.
But you see,
I got you.
The thing we've got to remember about Obama, right, is he doesn't just appeal to black voters because they think that he's going to change society. He also appeals to American white voters who think that he's Tiger Woods.
I mean, let's face it. Who is he actually going to be up against? He's going to be up against Senator John McCain, right? A man who came second to George W. Bush for the Republican nomination in the year 2000. What the hell have the Republicans been playing at? The best person they can find is somebody who wasn't quite as good as George W. Bush 8 bloody years ago.
Do you know McCain's slogan isn't too good either, actually?
Is it "No, we can't"?
No, his slogan... his slogan is "These oven chips contain 35% less fat." Which isn't...
McCain is just too old, isn't he?
Yeah.
Do you really want a president who could be killed by a mild winter? It's going to be much more exciting to watch Obama die What would you rather have? A president who's killed by a sniper on a rooftop 3 miles away, or a president who dies from type 2 diabetes?
You can't help but imagine, like, that if, you know, Barack wins, he'll just wander into the White House and it'll just be a swinging tyre and just Bush dressed up like Gollum going, do I get to leave now?
I like Obama.
Yeah, I like him.
Obama actually said, right, they said, oh, have you ever smoked cannabis? And he said, yes, I have smoked cannabis. And they said, did you inhale? And he said, that was the point. I kind of man.
That's cool.
Do you know that John McCain, he was in a prisoner of war camp because he was shot down 5 times? And they say he's a war hero. Does that make you a war hero, or does that make you a really shit pilot? Do you know McCain can't raise his arms above this? Do you know this?
Yeah. He can't live above
Yeah, he's rubbish at charades.
Yeah, what?
No, he can do television.
Is it a forklift truck? Yes, it is.
I went to the football with John McCain and I spent the whole first half trying to get him to start a Mexican wave and he just kept saying, leave it. And I'm really pissed off.
Yeah, I played...
For a second there, they thought you genuinely had gone to a football match.
The weird thing is, the reason he can't get his hands above that is apparently that they held him in the prisoner of war camp like that. You'd surely think that that would be the one thing he couldn't do. You'd think he would walk around like that.
How does he eat?
When can he eat like that?
You do that?
He goes to every
got a
Halloween
trough?
party as Christmas time.
What are you talking about?
How does he reach for glasses and stuff?
We are just now mocking a disability. So we know. Just so we all know that's exactly what's happening here, right? Yeah, I know.
He's fair game, isn't it?
He's not fair game.
Why not?
Is he? He's an old man with a war injury.
He's American.
I'll tell you what.
You know, my nightmare is that somewhere John McCain is watching this on a telly in a hotel room which is on a kind of one of those things that swings out. And he wants to change it, and he wants to stop watching people mocking him, but he can't get at the television like that.
To be honest, I wish I'd never mentioned it.
It must have been tough, though, for Brown, mustn't it? Meeting somebody as popular as Barack Obama, especially as the last thing Brown needed, somebody who keeps on saying over and over again, this is the time for change. Brown would have been well picked.
How was Brown's week?
Pretty tricky. To be honest, let's be honest, Brown couldn't get more unpopular if he recorded a song with James Blunt called I Like to Kill Puppies with Hammers.
Yeah, just get his cock out.
John Prescott came out, didn't he? John Prescott said, well, he's irreplaceable. We have no one with the talent to replace Brown. Get a 10-pin. Yeah, I sorted out the credit crunch. I lowered interest rates. But where do you make the coffee?
You know,
The Tories aren't going to... the Tories are loving this, presumably.
Yeah.
They can't even attack Brown at this stage because he's so weak.
He's
it would actually look
self-destructing.
like bullying if they tried to make any points against him.
When they did the Glasgow East by-election, the Tories, they couldn't attack Labour, but what they wanted to do was to get as few votes as possible so that the SNP would beat Labour. So Cameron turned up in Glasgow and said, Scottish people are too fat because you drink too much. And it's all your own fault. So he just sort of turned up and went, hello, Scotland, you fat bastards. But their party political broadcast in Scotland was just Cameron with Kenny Dalglish in a headlock, punching him in the face with the slogan, remember, Scotland, we own you.
So amidst all these general calls for his head, what is Brown doing now?
He's on holiday.
Yes, he is.
He's
yeah.
gone to Suffolk.
Now, immediately, by the way, we're not saying he immediately went on holiday. They're all on holiday now.
It's a scheduled vacation.
They attacked what he was wearing. Did you see that? They attacked. They're going, oh, you know, why is he not wearing shorts and a T-shirt?
Yeah.
What do they want him in, like a Borat-style mankini?
I'm sorry, but I think that's the best photo I've ever seen of Gordon Brown.
Absolutely.
I think he looks really cool.
I think he looks like he's in an
George Clooney.
What are we criticising them for? It's not like they can go and have a normal holiday. Yeah. You're not going to vote for someone who goes to Corfu and spit roasts an overweight club rate.
It's hard to have a normal holiday. Like, have you heard, even in Southwold, they're planning a human chain on the promenade to protest against Brown. Imagine that. How lame is that? Oh, I'm not going to the promenade, there's a human chain. I think in this country we're just really bad at, like, kicking off. There's a fuel crisis, and I watched it on TV, and he said, here in the queue, there's talk of riots. How can you have talk of riots in a queue? Right, we're going to riot, we're going to do it in alphabetical order. Oh, I nearly rioted out of turn, then.
I think that's a brilliant idea, because I think holidays are supposed to be relaxing. They're just the most stressful thing in the world. Just leaving your home is so filled with stress, because you suddenly feel that you have to unplug everything. You suddenly feel your television will blow up in your absence, despite the fact that no one's ever heard of a television blowing up when someone's holidaying. You sleep safe and sound at bed in night, not thinking my TV could blow up. And then before you go, have you unplugged the TV? And you unplug everything in your home, except the fridge. We trust the fridge. What is it about the fridge? You think the fridge wouldn't do this to me?
At the end of that round, the points go to Frankie, Hugh and Michael. Now we play a round called This Isn't Just News, This is a Wheel of News. This game involves Michael, Mark, Frankie and Russell, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This is where we test our performers' stand-up skills. We spin our news generator, it settles on topic, and anyone can volunteer jokes about the chosen subject. The winner is the team I judge who produced the funniest stuff. Here we go. We spin the wheel. The first topic is relationships.
I think when you go on a date with someone, it's a bit like playing cards, isn't it? There's a couple of cards you let the other person see. There's also a couple of cards that you hold to your chest. Well, as you can see, I'm punctual and employed. I'm holding untidiness and sexual deviance. I actually lost my virginity to my mother's best friend. It was my father. It was the only time he ever told me he loved me. I ran into my dad the other day in a lap dancing bar. He was making good tips. There's a lot of stuff I don't understand about sex. You know, like nudie calendars. Nudie calendars? Who's wanking going, I can't believe it's Pancake Tuesday?
Anyway, thank you. OK, let's spin the wheel again. And the subject is travel. Who wants to come in that? Russell.
I went to Hong Kong recently. It's fantastic. I was so giddy I did a gig there. I told my mum about it outside. I was like, I'm doing a gig in Hong Kong. She's like, ooh, in English? Probably. Travel is becoming more and more scary, do you find that, you know? But we look for terrorists now based on gender, ethnicity and behaviour. They must have come and go, are they shifty? Are they beige? And we don't need help being racist. We're very good at it as a nation. It's horrible. You know when you get on a plane, you see someone who's vaguely foreign, you can't help but go, oh, God, he's a bomber. Oh, God, he's a bomber. And you know he's looking at me and go, fuck, he's in a boy band. Do you know what I mean? Like that. Don't chat about your lyrics. And we now have to take our shoes off in case there's bombs in there. It's fairly obvious who the shoe bomber is. I would imagine it's the man gingerly approaching like that.
Russell.
Travel.
OK, that leaves us with Mark and Michael. Let's spin the wheel. The next topic is hotels. Who wants to come in on that?
I'll have a go. I've got a lot to say about hotels. I stayed in a terrible... I'm not allowed to mention it, but... honestly, such a depressing hotel. You know, you've got your Gideon Bible, your minibar. Minibar's a depressing word as well. It's a fridge, in fact. You know, if it was really a minibar, you'd have tiny people being sick outside. You know... And then, so, while I'm ranting, these people in the next room, this guy's having a party. Who has a party in a budget hotel? Went round, said, please turn the music down. The guy said, mate, we're having a party. I thought, yeah, it's not that I don't understand the situation here. I wasn't lying in bed at 2 in the morning thinking, oh, clinking glasses, laughter, deafening music. It's the mystery that's keeping me awake here.
Well done, Mark. OK, Michael, let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. Somebody just... Creates an interesting tone for your birthday.
Hey! Yeah, Wales. Well, of course, they have their own language. This is really the thing. And they are very keen for people of Wales to learn it. So they have it up everywhere, all the vocab. But they have it not only on road signs, but they also have it on the road. So I was driving into Wales and it says slow, and then the Welsh for slow, which is araf. And I didn't know this, and I thought it said slow Arab. I thought, whoa! Given the delicate global political situation, is this the best way to handle the terror threat? Has there been a meeting at the Welsh Assembly? We've got to do something about Al-Qaeda. It's only a matter of time before they make their move in the valleys. Any ideas? No? Not one? OK, well, while we're thinking, let's slow them down on the roads. Slow, Arab. Put your hands where I can bloody see them. Thank you.
At the end of that round, I'm going to give the points to Russell and Mark. The next round is called If This Is the Answer, What is the Question, on the board of 6 categories. Mark, which category would you like?
Ooh, legal news.
Your category is legal news. The answer is 60,000. What is the question?
Is it how many times has Max Mosley said to his wife, I'm just popping out to a fancy dress party?
Is it what is my Polish cleaner's name worth in Scrabble?
Is it how many times a day does Cristiano Ronaldo look in a mirror and go, looking good, I want to shag you?
Is it in what year will Jordan's breasts die?
If the government have confessed to losing 3,000 passports, how many have they probably lost?
I've got one. Is it how many people right now sat at home are dressing their dog up in shades and a cape?
How many times in the last week has Gordon Brown said to himself in the mirror, I'm fucked?
Is it how often will this clip be repeated on Dave?
Yeah, it's mad, man.
That would be nice, isn't it? Just midway through this, a message to the viewers of Dave. Hello, 2024. I've died 18 years now, but still I'm here doing this topical quiz.
Hello, viewers of Dave. Could you please stop sitting, eating Doritos in your pants and do something with your fucking life?
Is it what were the damages that Max Mosley got from the News of the World?
I couldn't put it better. Yes, you're absolutely right. Well done. Very good, Andy Partridge. Yeah. The question I was looking for is how much has been awarded to Max Mosley following his High Court win against the News of the World? Mr. Justice Eadie ruled that the paper had infringed his privacy over its sadomasochism story. Mosley is now planning further legal action.
What's funny about it, did you see the way they were jostling him outside the court? I bet he bloody loved it. He was like that, yeah, that's right, talk German, all right.
Generally, it was unusual for them to fight that case in News of the World. I mean, if it was ever the wrong person to try to humiliate, it was a man for whom that was playing into his hands.
He says his name has been cleared now, but nobody's ever going to forget this now. He could land on Mars and they were, oh, we'll go over to the Mars pictures with prostitute shagger Max Mosley.
The thing I found funny about it is that thing of he had 5 prostitutes for 5 hours spanking him. They all had to speak in a German accent, but you feel sorry for the prostitute who couldn't do the voice. Because there must have been one of them just go, oh, you love that, oh, that's this stuff. I can't do the voice, I'm trying, but... you know what I mean? This is the only one I can do, Max. I'm letting everybody down.
You've got to presume if you're being driven into prostitution, it's probably because you weren't a gifted voice artist.
He's gone to a lot of effort, hasn't he, to say he wasn't involved in a Nazi sex orgy. Yeah. His dad was Sir Oswald Mosley. He was almost definitely conceived at a Nazi sex orgy.
What's the difference between Mosley and Robert Mugabe? Max Mosley admits when he's been beaten.
That is almost like a top-quality Christmas cracker joke. Yeah.
But you feel sorry for his wife because there's going to come a time when they're going to have sex again and she's going to know what he's really into, so maybe she'll start small and just lightly chide him in Austrian, you know? Just work her way up.
I love the way that you regard Austrians as being like entry-level Germans.
you know
They're
what,
kind of like German light. When you're not ready for a full German, just have an Austrian.
What a terrible sex drive he has. I mean, because he just can't sit and crack one off, can he? He's got to get a stage manager, a choreographer. In Scotland, if he tried to put all these prostitutes together, it would cost him upwards of a bag of chips.
Whose number is up this week?
It's Carol Vorderman.
It is, of course, Carol.
Yeah.
Vorderman.
Silly old cow.
Yeah, basically.
She got paid £900,000 a year. The people that won Countdown got a T-shirt and a dictionary. And she's only there because old people find it comforting to see the same face. I think, should they be comforted? I'd like to see the person picking the letters dressed up as death. I'd like her to have stayed on, but just in a sort of couldn't care less, half-hearted way. You've got to get 10,000 with a 5, a 7, an M.
Why did they just be shuffling around in a dressing gown, just swigging from a can?
She imagines she's indispensable. Oh, they'll never be able to find a younger woman who can use a calculator.
Can I just say that I once got into a lift with Carol Vorderman, absolutely hilariously. I got into a lift, Vorderman was already in the lift, and she was at the numbers. And she was actually at the numbers in the lift, and she looked at me as if to say, I'm in control of these numbers. Where do you want to go? And I think if you can't make a joke at this moment in life, you're in real trouble. So I just went, I'll have one from the top and 5 from anywhere else.
And you got trapped in a lift.
I thought it was sad that they gave her 48 hours to sort of stay or go. Surely it should have been 30 seconds.
Virtually everybody here would do her job for what she was offered.
Yes.
How many people here, hands up, would do her job for 120 grand a year?
Yeah.
Virtually everybody.
I'll tell you one person who can't answer that, and that's John McCain. He's just...
She did have a ridiculously easy job. The only woman on television who has actually an easier job is Deborah Meaden, who is the woman on Dragon's Den who never invests any money in anything. Who sits there. She's poor. They just use somebody. And she sits there with the prop money, looking at it, going, "I wish that was real. I have no money at all." And every week, all she does is just go, "That's a stupid idea. You've insulted our intelligence. I'm out."
The best bit about Dragon's Den is when they wheel on the genuine lunatic.
Hello, dragons. It's about time bumblebees had slippers.
And you're sort of sat there going, oh, Christ, that's someone's granddad, and yet you can't not watch it because you know he's been in the shed when I'm a millionaire. These bumblebee slippers, granddad. You haven't got a soul.
The thing about Countdown is, should we be encouraging old people to do more word puzzles? Could they do more word puzzles? And, you know, they can't remember their grandchildren's names, they can't remember their grandchildren's birthdays, and yet they'll spend 3 hours a day doing anagrams based on cheeses of the fucking world.
Do you know who I was really panicking now? Because Des is gone and now Carol's gone. I reckon Dictionary Corner are shitting themselves. Do you think they're unionised?
I think they'll be very pleased to be unionised because it's in fact a 9-letter word.
It was... That's quite good. That's really well done.
At the end of that round, the points go to Frankie, Hugh and Michael.
And now here we go. The memory game.
Now we come to our final quickfire round called Scenes We'd Like to See. This is for evidence. If you go over to the performance area, please. I caught ideas for scenarios we'd love to see, and the performers come in with their suggestions. OK, here we go. The first subject is commercials that never made it to air.
Masturbation. Are you getting your 5 a day?
Worried about bankruptcy? Then why not paddle your canoe into the middle of the ocean?
Lidl's own brand shampoo, because you're worthless.
If you hit me at 40 miles an hour, there's an 80% chance I'll die. If you hit me at 30 miles an hour, there's an 80% chance I'll live. Stop trying to hit me.
Poor and too lazy to cook, That's why mums shop at Iceland.
This isn't just a gimp mask. This is an S&M gimp mask.
Do your knickers feel uncomfortable on? Try Bacardi Breezy.
You find flying boring? Fly Qantas, you might die.
The Daily Mail. Racist in public, so you don't have to be.
I'm Fern Britton, and this machine took 2 stone off me. It's a bacon slicer.
I'm John McCain. Why not buy my fitness video?
Are you thinking of drinking and driving? Remember, the M20 is surprisingly quiet on a Saturday night.
We've lost your bags. We've lost your bags. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
From Gillette comes the new Sensor Uber XL. For that closest ever shave. In fact, this one slices your face like a potato peeler. It's too close. Get the previous Gillette Sensor. It turns out we couldn't get closer than that one.
31 million names on 3 great discs. Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs. Now that's what I call a monumental cock-up, Volume 1.
Max Mosley doesn't do Nazi-themed orgies, but if he did, they'd probably be the best Nazi-themed orgies in the world.
OK, next topic is bad things to hear on opening the door in the middle of the night.
Hello, I'm Dara O'Brien. I'd like to talk to you about Mock the Week.
I'm back from my canoe trip.
I saw a peeping Tom in your garden, but I warned him. This is my patch.
I come to fix your washing machine. You asked for a call-out between 12 and 5.
Hello, I'm afraid my cock is stuck in your letterbox.
Hello. I'm Max Mosley, and I've been a very naughty boy.
I'm afraid your husband's been murdered. Could I borrow a shovel?
Hello, I'm Gordon Brown. Just hold me.
OK, at the end of that round, the points go to Russell, Mark and Andy. That's the end of the show. This week's winners are Andy Parsons, Mark Watson and Russell Howard. Commiserations to Frankie Boyle, Hugh Dennis and Michael McIntyre. Thank you for watching. I'm Dara O'Brien. Good night.
Henry is a king out of control as Anne Boleyn piles on the pressure. Sexy drama The Tudors is back. The second series starts tomorrow night at 9. Now there's a real buzz of excitement on BBC Two. More comedy with Lab Rats next.
Hello and welcome to Mock the Week. I'm Dara Breen, and joining me this week are Andy Parsons, Zoe Lyons and Russell Howard, Frankie Boyle, Hugh Dennis and Ed Byrne. We start with a round called Headliners. Here's a picture of Prime Minister Gordon Brown with his immediate predecessor, Tony Blair. But what does BMCB stand for?
Is it Brown's Mental Complete Breakdown?
Or is it just Britain's Mr. Charisma Bypass?
Is it Blair makes chimp body pop?
Is it Brown's man boobs captivate Blair?
Is it Blundering Morons Crucifixion Begins?
And is it just bollocks, my career's buggered?
Sometimes that's all satire needs to be.
You look like uncles dancing at a wedding. I would go with British men can't boogie.
Yes.
Or is it...
I've still got it. I've still got it. You show them. You show them.
It could be Blair might come back.
Oh!
Very serious.
There's an interesting reaction. That came from a dark place, didn't it?
Somebody over there was sharpening a scythe.
OK, I'm going to steer you towards the correct answer.
I think it's Blair. Blair's memo criticises Brown.
I'll accept that as an answer. Well done.
You've accepted. Is it the right answer or not?
This is the news that Gordon Brown's political enemies are plotting to remove him from number 10. A leaked memo has been published which reveals Tony Blair's fury with Brown for criticising his record as Premier.
It isn't news, though, is it, that Tony Blair hates Gordon Brown?
No, it's not. It's not.
The news is the people who are thinking of are going to take over from Gordon Brown, I think.
That is, yeah. And this is—it's not the memo itself; it's the leaking of the memo. It's like suddenly people are tiptoeing into view with the view to getting rid of Brown.
David Miliband, isn't it?
It is David Miliband.
David Miliband always has one expression on his face, right, which is a sort of mixture of puzzlement and aggression, right? It's all like this. Which makes me think that David Miliband lives in a cul-de-sac. Do you know that thing when you walk down a cul-de-sac by mistake and you see someone and they sort of look at you like, you don't live in the cul-de-sac.
David Miliband's problem is that he isn't even well known in his own constituency, right? So there was a story in the paper this week about David Miliband getting very, very excited because somebody came up to him in his constituency and said, "Excuse me, can I have your autograph, please, Mr. Henman?"
What a double whammy of dull, though. Do you know what I mean? Some bloke went, "Oh, I thought it was Mr. Tim Henman, but it turned out to be Mr. David Miliband." Yeah. Sometimes my life's crazy.
Miliband's part of a Labour mafia who are apparently called the Primrose Hill Gang, which sounds like the campest bank robbers ever. Put your hands in the air and dance!
That'd be great, just doilies everywhere afterwards.
Go around blowing the froth from cappuccinos in other people's faces. Take that! And the chocolate. Ow!
Basically, Miliband is a slightly different type of career politician, and they're going, oh, it'll be a breath of fresh air. No, it would be very slightly different. Vin Diesel, he'd be a breath of fresh air. Sergeant Bash from Robot Wars. Why don't they ever just... You know, they say, oh... we need somebody different to lead the party. Why don't they ever just get someone and they go, yeah, we've got a new leader, he smokes a lot of grass and does kung fu. What about that?
I don't see how anyone could vote in good conscience for a man who said, and he did say this without any irony, without his tongue anywhere near his cheek, actually was quoted as saying, social justice is what gets me up in the morning. Like he has an alarm clock that is the sound of someone giving the correct respect to a single mother. like rehabilitated youths come in and dress him before he has breakfast.
Social justice gets me up in the morning sounds like the name of the world's most boring porn site.
Are you being well paid for this? Good, yeah. and the benefits all right? Yeah.
What's the point of replacing Gordon Brown with David Miliband? It's like replacing a copy of the Reader's Digest with an A to Z of Peterborough. May as well elect a nest of tables.
Right, who's come out in support of Brown?
Alan Sugar.
Alan Sugar.
It's the most remarkable... He did this interview in The Sun where I don't know what they're looking at there. Did you see the line that Sugar said? There was this amazing line. I don't know if you read it. It was just gobbledygook. He was kind of going, yeah, he's a good bloke. I lent him a monkey. Nuts and bolts, knows what he's doing. He's still hired. And there was one sentence. I've written it down here. He said that we're looking for a leader as a nation who can bunny off a scratch. And you find yourself going, yeah, if you like. What the hell does that to bunny off a scratch? You know, can anyone weasel off a tickle? You know, badger off a fumble? It's like a porno wind in the willow. He's lost it.
Alan Sugar seems to me like a sort of confused old lady. Who are you? What are you doing here? What's your job? Who am I? Where am I? Where's the toilet? Help me.
Actually, this is one of those things that no one is going to find funny now, but the next time you watch The Apprentice, next series come out, when he comes out, when they're sitting in the office and he arrives through that glass door, I always think he looks like he's coming out of the toilet. There's something about him. It looks like he's going to say, I'd give that a few minutes if I was you.
Them are bound to like each other, though, aren't they? Because apparently they both get up at 6 a.m. in the morning, and frankly, they both look like they get up at 6 a.m. in the morning, don't they? Alan Sugar, when he gets up at 6 a.m, he needs to look himself in the mirror and go, Alan, you need a couple of more hours in bed. You're tired.
Quality wordplay, my friend. What always gets me about The Apprentice, by the way, is it's based on a lie, which is basically you've got two teams of people selling bananas. One make £800 and they get a helicopter trip around London. The other makes £750 and they sit in a cafeteria and he calls them losers and fires one of them. And you're kind of going, that's a bit harsh. If you don't win, you've got to be fired. He made his money building the 9th best computer in the market. And then followed that up by building the 2nd best satellite dish when there were only 2 satellite dishes. Then he became the chairman of Spurs. So, frankly, he can't really talk about being a winner. Yeah? As a matter of what is Brown doing at the moment to get himself...
He's got a personal trainer. The idea is that Brown is supposed to be going on cross-country runs, right? Which clearly isn't happening. What's happening is a woman is leading him into the woods every day so that he can sit on a tree stump and cry. There must be an entrance to Narnia somewhere.
I love the idea he's got his iPod on, and it's on shuffle, and it's like, I've got the eye of the tiger. And then Radiohead pops on, it's like, a job that slowly kills you. Bruises that... Well, I don't need that, I'm so excited. That's right, I'm back.
I think you're being really harsh. Well, I look forward to the first press conference after where he just stands and goes, I'd like to see my gun. Have you got tickets for the gun show?
Who here has a personal trainer?
I haven't.
Why are you looking at me? Why?
Do you have a personal trainer?
In the past, employed
in the past you've had a personal trainer.
People too.
Did
yeah.
you?
And did it work?
Yes, it worked very well, actually, to be honest. I am the very model of physical fitness. It is astonishing. I often do an act on stage where I just go, dun, 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 and I just move my breasts and my back around.
I seem to remember you once telling me that you have an exercise bike and a ski walker in your kitchen, and that once you've used the exercise bike for more than 25 minutes, your balls go numb and you have to crack one off. To restore feeling.
I was also privy to that conversation.
Can I qualify this, right?
He actually said...
the seat is very large for a bicycle, right? It's a big, heavy seat. And 15 to 20 minutes in, it cuts off blood flow to the gem. And I have to fluff just a bit. Just to get things kind of just circle. I don't actually finish a off.
Can I just ask you, what is the personal trainer doing while you're up to this?
I think I'd watch more sport if this was involved in triathlon.
I think we owe it to ourselves to turn that into a fitness video where Dara's working out for 20 minutes and he just looks at the screen and goes, back in 5. And then...
When you finish like 30 minutes of cardio, you go, hey, you're looking good out there. Why don't you reward yourself?
Every 30 minutes in your video, it just breaks into porn.
Which one, ladies and gentlemen? At the end of that round, the points are going to go to Russell, Zoe and Andy! Very good. Our next round is called Newsreel. We play in a recent piece of footage featuring people in the news and ask you to suggest what might be being said. This week's clip features Conservative leader David Cameron and the Lord Mayor of London, Boris Johnson.
Right, Boris, leave all the talking to me. If you do need to talk, please don't bang on about buses anymore. Talk about policies and try not to sound too posh. What ho, peasants? No, that's roughly what I meant. Anyway, we're here to introduce London's new mayor. Who's he? Who's the mayor? Oh, I'm the mayor. I'm sorry, I'm the mayor. Yes, I'm the mayor. And this is David Cameron. We were eating together, us and Robert Mugabe. Anyway, please don't be fooled by the presence of a bus behind us. We can talk about many things other than buses. Boris has got many policies on crime and employment and littering and buses. Yes, buses. I thought about buses. Buses, that's what I meant to talk about. Yes, everybody loves a bus, don't they? We all like a bus. Yes, we all love a bus. Don't we? We love a bus. I tell you what I like, those Route Master buses. They're lovely, aren't they? I think that's what they're called. Not the bendy buses. No, they're dangerous. They catch fire. They kill people. And could we talk about crime? Would that be possible? Well, I'd rather talk about buses, to be honest. Because although I'm a Tory, I've never been on a bus. I mean, why did I go on a bus? Buses are for poor people. I'm a posh person. I would never go on a bus. Cameron's never been on a bus. His bike was stolen. Still didn't get on a bus. Waited for the chauffeur. Oh, is it time to get on? Ding dong. Please don't think that we can only talk about buses. We can talk about many other things. And buses, yes, we can talk about them. And crime. Buses, yes, we can talk about them. Crime, we can talk about crime. And initiatives on litter. We've got all that for London. It's a blueprint for London. And why we didn't go for Jeffrey Archer, I have absolutely no idea. This man is as mad as a box of spanners. Goodbye, I think I'm going to be tainted with the same brush. Oh, is he gone? Has he paid his fare? Anyway, I tell you what, room for one more on top, as I said to someone's wife. Only joking. Anyway, here we go.
Well done to you. Now we play a round called Alexander Solzhenitsyn's Wheel of News. This game involves Ed, Zoe, Frankie and Andy, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This is where we test our performers' stand-up skills. We spin our news generator, it settles on a topic, and anyone can volunteer jokes about the chosen subject. The winner is a team I judge to produce the funniest stuff. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first topic is entertainment. Who wants to come in on that? Ed Byrne.
I was watching a DVD the other day, horror DVD, Hostel Part 2, not a very good film. Should have twigged by the fact that it was a sequel to Hostel Part 1, also not a very good film. Hostel Part 1 is about men being tortured to death in an underground bunker for the pleasure of others. Hostel Part 2, women being tortured to death for the pleasure of... Oh, they've really flipped it. Hostel Part 3, I imagine hermaphrodites up for the chop. Anyway... I'm about to watch this film, and before I watch it, I have to sit through the DVD piracy warning, which I think we can all agree is beginning to get on our collective tits. Oh, this music's so funky, it makes me want to obey the law. And it's the patronising nature of it. It's this thing of, you wouldn't steal a handbag, you wouldn't steal a car, so why would you steal a movie? I'm sitting there going... Don't tell me what I wouldn't do. You don't know me. I am drunk at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. In my pants. About to watch women be tortured to death in an underground bunker in Eastern Europe. You're telling me I wouldn't nick a poxy handbag? I think you don't know me very well at all, sir.
OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is obesity. Who wants to come in on that? Zoe Lyons.
I was in a queue in Woolies. Don't judge me, they had a sale on DVDs. And there was a woman in front of me with her kid. Now, there is no polite way of saying this. This kid was fat. She was huge. She didn't have a muffin top, more a sort of wedding cake cheer effect going on. She was a big kid. She was a big kid. She actually had a T-shirt on that said Little Princess. It was more like Little Principality. She looked like Monaco in a crop top. She was a big kid, and this kid picked up from the side there a bar of fruit and nut chocolate and held it up to her mum and said, Mum, can I have that? Can I have it? Mum, can I have this? And eventually her mother just lost it, turned round to this kid and went, No, you don't like it. It's got fruit in it.
Well done, Zoe Lyons. OK, we're left with Andy and Frankie. Let's spin the wheel again. The next topic is environment. Andy Parsons.
So, now, apparently, plastic bags are evil. Because apparently, they take 100 years to biodegrade. Now, That came as a bit of a shock to me, because often when you get a bag in a supermarket, they seem to biodegrade when you put anything heavy in them. That is why people double bag, isn't it? Because otherwise it's like a crap magic trick, isn't it? They give you the bag, you put the bag on the counter, you put the stuff in the bag, you pull up the bag, and hey presto, the stuff's still there on the bloody counter.
Well done, Andy Parsons. OK, let's see what Frankie's been left with. Let's spin the wheel. It's celebrity.
Tom Cruise has got a creepy marriage going on, hasn't he? I reckon if you went round to their house for dinner, she'd have written, "Get help" in the peas. You seen a photo of Amy Winehouse recently? My God, she looks like a campaign poster for neglected horses. How did Wayne Rooney manage to get married? Probably only because "I do" sounds quite a lot like "ooh, ooh." Jade Goody's just been burgled. According to the papers, she lost £100,000 worth of her most prized possessions. That is a lot of turnips.
Frankie Boyle. Points that go to Adam Frankie. Our next round is called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Zoe, which category would you like?
Sport.
OK, sport. The answer is 85,000 miles. What is the question?
How far would the Proclaimers have to walk these days to get a hit?
If I was to add together all the times that people have sung "I Would Walk 500 Miles" at me...
Is it?
I love that. I love that stuff. You look like one of the Proclaimers. One of the Proclaimers? They're twins, you daft bastard.
Is it how long is a hen night limo?
When is Stephen Hawking due for his next service?
Is it what is the nearest that I will get to watching Mamma Mia?
Is it on a still day? How far away can you hear Brian Blessed?
What distance has been covered by Dwayne Chambers in training in a sadly pointless exercise?
Is it, for legal reasons, what is the closest that I'm allowed to come to the actress who plays Hermione in the Harry Potter films?
Is it how far has the Olympic flame travelled to actually get into Beijing?
That's absolutely right. Well done, Andy Parsons.
When the torch came through London, it was amazing, wasn't it? Because the Chinese got to number 10 and barged Gordon Brown out of the way. And he's the only Scottish guy in the world that would have stood for that. Any other Scottish guy would have opened the door to number 10 in his pants, looked at the ambassador with the torch and gone, "What's this, pal? I ordered chicken and black bean sauce."
Did anyone see the list of rules that the Chinese government have put in place?
It's insane, isn't it?
Extraordinary. I don't know if you've seen it. One of them is you're only allowed to wear 3 colours during the Olympics. Somebody laughing at the back. It's true, there is actually a Chinese fashion police.
God,
We're expecting a racist gag.
Don't you think it's amazing that none of the rules are don't run over anyone in a tank?
They've been telling people to smile more.
Smiling more.
Like the government is issuing directives telling the people to smile. I just think the idea... I'm just going, you, faceless tool of the Communist Party. Why so glum?
Who watches the Olympics anyway? Surely the irony is the only people who watch the thing are people who are too lazy to switch off the TV. Who watches gymnastics? Watching gymnastics is just paedophilia for cowards, Dara. If we arrested everybody who was watching the rhythmic gymnastics, the country would be a safer place. You deny it?
I'm hoping we do... A much sweeter reason, I'm hoping we do really well in the gymnastics, because our best gymnast is called Beth Tweddle, and I want it to be a medal for Tweddle.
They haven't given advice, because they're worried about terrorism, aren't they, after what's happened in the last week? And they've actually told people if terrorists do burst into their house, the advice apparently is to keep calm, right?
Yeah.
Not to fight back, but to try and text the police from your mobile phone. Now, you'd think your average terrorist might be a bit alert to that. What are you doing with your mobile phone? Oh, just playing Snake?
But also, terrorist is quite a tricky word to text when you're under pressure. So you'd have to put, OMG, bad man, tie me up, send.
The Olympics are boring, right? What we need is an event where we see who can jump from the greatest height. Because then we could get all these sort of depressed and suicidal people, and they could win something for their country when they die.
They're all very worried, aren't they, in Beijing about the weather, about the smog?
The smog is a big issue. Do we know why it is? What they're going to do to get rid of it?
I think what they're going to do to get rid of the smog is they're going to try and clear out all the burning monks for kick-off.
They're shutting down all economic activity in Beijing. They're shutting down factories, traffic, everything. It's all been shut down.
They must be delighted that Paula Radcliffe may not be fit, because the last thing they need with all that pollution is her coming and squatting and contaminating the water supply.
Do you see as well?
Am I wrong about this, or have they got a guy running in the Olympics who's got no legs?
That's quite difficult.
He wanted to run in it. Whose name, I can't remember.
Oscar Pistorius.
Oscar Pistorius.
Wasn't the thing, though, he had these fiberglass legs, and they said it gives him an unfair advantage, overlooking, I think, the fact that he's got no legs. That might balance it up slightly. I say, don't let him run in the Olympics. Give him a robot arm and make him fight crime.
Don't you think they could give him a little thing like you have on a Skeletrix car?
But you're not allowed...
Round the track.
They say you're not allowed...
But imagine being...
Which unlikely figure has said she hopes to compete in the 2012 Olympics?
Dame Judi Dench.
Not Dame Judi Dench. That's Jordan.
What, we're not going with the Judi Dench story? This seems ridiculous.
What, the Judi Dench being a poll voter thing that was all over the papers, like?
She's pissed off, isn't she, because she got chucked out of... They wouldn't allow her to buy a table at the polo.
No, they allowed her. She was at some polo event, and she wasn't allowed into the China White tent. Somebody apparently today said, no, you're not the kind of person we're looking for here.
Well, it could be. Maybe they have a rule about having to be less than, 45% silicon.
Polo is just disgusting, isn't it? It's just exhibitionism. It's rich exhibitionism. It's not like there's a five-a-side Sunday league of polo where people go down the Hackney Marshes and ride about in a Labrador, is it? It's a, oh, look at me kind of thing. If Jordan wants to see people riding dumb animals, she should just look in a mirror the next time she's having sex.
There's a lot of stuff there, is it, about that I think they were worried that she would show herself up because there's an etiquette at polo, there's an etiquette amongst the posh, and some of it is completely incomprehensible. So, for example, as I discovered, you're not meant to turn your back on the Queen. Why? I don't know. She's very unlikely to nick anything. But you're not. And I did that. I was 18. The Queen came to my school because someone had burnt my school down. And
somebody had burnt your school down.
Was that the stage of her career when she was investigating mysteries?
Inspector Queen. It was called.
You paint her as some sort of Jessica Fletcher figure.
At the end of that round, the points go to Frankie Hewinan. Now we come to our final quickfire round called Scenes We'd Like to See. This is for everyone. So if you can make your way over to the performance area, please. I call it ideas for scenarios we'd love to see, and the performers come in with their suggestions. OK, here we go. The first subject is bad things to say at a job interview.
What can I bring to the job? A burning hatred of the West, a hook for a hand and a pilot's licence.
The 5-year employment gap, yeah. I was canoeing.
Right, I hope we can all be professional about the fact that I've just split up with all three of you.
I'm really only here because I'm hoping to slip on a wet floor and then fall off a ladder.
Yes, I've had a few changes of address, Wormwood Scrubs, Broadmoor, but for the last 3 months I've lived in your air conditioning.
I'm really into diversity. In my last team, I made sure that we had a black, a fruit and a fatty.
I have always wanted to work in a motel. I'm telling them, Mother, I'm telling them!
This job would be a great opportunity for me to steal a shitload of stationery.
Hey, I remember you from the dungeon. How you doing? It's me, Gimpy Terry.
I'm Gimpy Terry's mate.
Sum myself up in 3 words. Well, I suppose it would have to be killer alien vagina.
What do you mean I'm underqualified to be a plumber? I'm 5 hours late. I've done a piss in your sink.
When can I start? Yesterday. But I can only work till today.
9 till 5, 9 till 5. My medication wears off at 3.
The next topic is things you wouldn't hear on Songs of Praise.
Hello, Canterbury. Let's make some fucking noise!
Well, the locals here on the Shetland Isles have given us a tremendous welcome. Today we have our act of worship, and tomorrow they're burning me in a wicker man.
They call him G.O.D. and he the Big Daddy. He look like me, but he more beardy.
Hello, I'm Sister Margaret, and I'm an alcoholic.
The parishioners will now go forward to receive communion, if they can get past Atlas and Predator.
Christians in one corner, Muslims in the other. Let's get ready to rumble!
Well, the goat is strapped to the altar, so let's begin.
That was beautiful. Such a shame there's no one actually up there to have heard it.
And we appear to have a streaker. No, one of the altar boys has escaped from the vestry.
If you're enjoying this, why not turn over to BBC Three, where you can enjoy Songs of Praise uncut.
Well, now, choir of the week. They're not the Von Trapp family, but they were the Trapp family. It's the Fritzels from Austria!
The next reading is from St Paul's first letter to Jim Fixit.
At the end of that round, the points go to Frankie, Hugh and Ed. That's the end of the show. This week's winners are Frankie Boyle, Hugh Dennis and Ed Byrne. Commiserations to Andy Parsons, Zoe Lyons and Russell Howard. Thank you for watching. I'm Dara Breen. Good night.
And the comedy continues with Nevermind the Buzzcocks in half an hour. Before that, though, lack of sleep sends the lab rats more bonkers than ever. That's next here on BBC Two.
Read all about it.
Welcome to Mock the Week. I'm Dara O'Brien. Joining me this week are Andy Parsons, David Mitchell and Russell Howard, Frankie Boyle, Hugh Dennis and Adam Hills. We start with a round called Headliners. Here's a picture of the spectacular opening to the Olympic Games. But what does BGMC stand for?
Is it British Gas Managers Celebrate?
Is it British Games Much Crapper?
Is it bottled gas meets cigarette?
I know this one, actually. It's Barry George, Merry Christmas.
Is it bullshit generated on a Mac computer?
Is it?
Do you think that's how they did it? It's all Photoshop.
That's why they had so many people dancing. They just did one of them and then did Control-V, 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 Control-V.
It was an empty stadium with just George Bush.
Is it... I've got one. Is it Bob Geldof meets Christ?
Are you sure it's not barbecue's gone massively cockeyed?
Surely. Yes, it was in a Chinese paper. It's actually...
And that's fine now, is it?
Yeah.
Just to sort of say Chinese sounds a bit weird. Now China's got an economy, the racism's all allowed again.
Is it properly Beijing Games most costly, I would have thought?
Yes, it is. Very good. Well done, Hugh Dennis. Yes, the answer I was looking for was Beijing Games most costly. This is the news that the Beijing Olympics costs are expected to exceed £20 billion, making the most expensive in history. The opening ceremony is watched by 91,000 spectators and dozens of world leaders in the Olympic Stadium.
Is there really a purpose to having an Olympic opening ceremony? It's not like I would have switched on the telly today and seen people jumping into sandpits and going, what the hell's this? Hollyoaks has changed. I didn't realise there were this many muscular black men in Chester.
What's great about it, though, is you watch the opening ceremony and you just forget about all the human rights. It's the equivalent of, like, listening to an early Michael Jackson album. You kind of like, forget it, he's brilliant. Do you know what I mean? And it just shows you the power of fireworks. Do you know what I mean? That you just kind of... You can't not turn into a 6-year-old boy. Just go, ooh. They should have them at doctors. You know, it's terminal. Catherine Wheel. You know? It's just amazing ability to make you forget about everything.
I don't think it didn't make me stop thinking about human rights abuse.
Well, you're a deep man, Dara. You're a deep man.
So when I saw 16,000 people dancing in perfect coordination, do you know, human rights abuse, slave labour was exactly what popped into my mind.
Yeah.
How do you get people to do that so much? Oh, you're right, you run a dictatorship.
It shows you the advantages of totalitarianism. Organisationally, it's an extremely efficient system.
Yeah.
There's only this sanctity of human life thing that we're clinging on to for some reason that means that our games are going to look so shit.
You wouldn't want to be the one Chinese guy who danced out of sync, would you? Just find yourself sort of... I don't remember a man with a rifle in the dress rehearsal. There goes me and my village.
Did you see? Did you see the drummer, though? The drummer was the amazing bit. They were kind of doing that for ages, and then it cut up to one of them when he finished, just going... like that. Because, you know, they just flashed an image of his nan just going, if you don't get it right, she will die.
And then there was the bloke, wasn't there? The bloke with the Olympic flame, which apparently had travelled round the world in an aeroplane.
Yeah.
So you can't take 100 millilitres of liquid onto the plane, but you can take a lit torch.
Hang on, they flew through it on a plane. And with the other passengers not going, I'm getting unnaturally drowsy at the moment. Any chance you could put out the...
Well, there was a great point in the coverage, the BBC coverage, where they said, oh, this Chinese opening ceremony is glossing over bad elements in their history. And you think, well, of course it is. I mean, it's not like the London opening ceremony is going to be a warts-and-all portrayal of British history, is it? Not going to bring on children of all nations and slaughter them at bayonet point. Now we have the Irish potato famine expressed through the medium of rhythmic dance. And now some acrobats and clowns will reenact the shooting of Jean-Charles Domenech.
We'd like to welcome the US basketball team celebrating Britain's role in the slave trade.
the ironic thing about the smog, though, isn't it, is that they say that the Great Wall of China is one of the few things on Earth that you can see from space, and yet, when you're at the Great Wall of China, look up, you can see sod all.
You can't see space, essentially, yeah.
There are plenty of places on Earth you can see space from, though. I mean, that's not the problem. I mean, most spaces, not indoors, but, like, outside this building, you can see space, a bit of space.
But you can't from the Great Wall of China,
No.
because there's just little bits of soot coming down on your head.
So that's probably all you can see in space, is the soot. It's not the wall at all.
To be honest, they probably...
Actually,
I doubt
sorry
that's what
to
they're thinking.
interrupt with the fact, but yes, you can't actually see the Great Wall of China from space. What you can see is the dust around the Great Wall of China.
Why don't they hoover it?
I love the idea that question underlying these hypocritical Olympics. Why don't they hoover their walls? Democracies hoover things.
The Chinese
Till they
ambassador...
learn to hoover, they won't be a proper country. Not in...
The Chinese ambassador's sitting at home going, I wonder how people received our opening ceremony, which is this one. Why don't they hoover the Great Wall of China? I didn't even like the opening ceremony, man.
How can you not have liked the opening ceremony?
People in tracksuits and explosions. I had a flashback to living in Glasgow.
I'll admit, on a pure showbiz front, right, it is a bit... Because you do a big show, you do 90 minutes of spectacular stuff, right? But, like, say if you go to a show, right, Mary Poppins or something, you see the singing and the dancing and the spectacle, you don't go, that was great. What I need now is a parade of 205 nations slowly walking into the room. Some of them tiny, with one guy holding a flag, looking lonely.
I think you'll find it's 204 nations. Georgia's just gone.
But you see, they opened with Zimbabwe as well. Did you see that? Because it went in accordance with characters in the Chinese alphabet. They didn't go first.
Oh, is that how they picked it?
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, you just see the Zimbabweans go, really? Shit. It's just going to come out. Look at that. Just like, it was hilarious. They generally looked a bit shocked.
They had to go first, though, didn't they? Because if they went last, their currency would have depreciated too much.
Well, Frankie, I've actually got to go to the Paralympics in September for Australian television, and my job is actually to commentate on all the Paralympians coming into the venue. I know. So, which is why I've said nothing bad about China thus far.
You've been quite diplomatic, haven't you?
I'm intrigued that you're directing this to me. Are you looking for my advice on how to keep it light?
They're actually struggling, though, to fill the seats, aren't they?
800,000 students have been roped in to fill the seats, and it is kind of ironic to go to students. Students, we need you in Tiananmen Square for the next 2 weeks. No, not like that time. Not like that time. Wait a minute. I've been fooled before on this. Oh, come on.
You're not going to stop talking about, ceremonies and start talking about winning medals, or is that just an Australian thing?
Somebody hasn't been watching the dressage punk. I think you find in all the posh sports that aren't really sports, we're doing very well indeed.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're kicking your ass in dancing horses and tiny yachts. They are eating. They're owning you in that.
Any of the sports where African men can't actually afford to take part, we're ripping it.
Also, do you not get pissed off, though, that every time an Australian does win, on the flag, there's a tiny little Union Jack in the corner?
Because if we added the 25% of your medals that we thereby get, we don't do so badly.
You've picked the wrong tactic with this nation of embittered losers.
We're meant to get 42 medals this Olympics, and then more in London, but it doesn't say that you have to win them. So we can just send teenagers out with knives and steal them off the other competitors.
I think that's likely to be part of the opening ceremony anyway. If it's like a diorama of modern Britain.
They're going to use the torch to light a stolen Ford Mondeo.
And who is that on the roof of the stadium? Oh, it's Fathers for Justice.
Or just confess that we can't compete, right, and just spend a £5 on it, and have Paula Radcliffe dressed as a clown with a sparkler.
A droopy clown, a clown with a tear.
I I think, right, London, they're never going to do better fireworks than the Chinese, right? What they should do, what's the budget? 30 million. Spend it all on one big firework that we use to knock the moon into the sun like a pool ball. And in the 8 minutes it takes for the supernova blastback to destroy Earth, Sebastian Coe just stands there and goes, "Get it up, you China!"
OK, at the end of that round, the points go to Russell, David and Andy! Now we play a round called the 4x1 Joke Relay. This game involves Adam, Andy, Frankie and Russell, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This is where we test our performers' stand-up skills. We spin our news generator that settles on a topic and anyone can volunteer jokes about the chosen subjects. Points will be awarded for degree of difficulty and artistic merit. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is US politics. Can we have someone on that? Andy Parsons.
Now, the Democrats, they're saying, aren't they? They're saying that Barack Obama will become the first black president of the United States of America. He'll be up against Senator John McCain, right? A man famously went on American radio and when asked what did he think about Iran, he sang, "Bomb, bomb, 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 Iran." Basically, bomb Iran to the tune of Barbara Ann by the Beach Boys. That's not the man we need in the White House, is it? Mr. President, what do you think of the recent earthquake in China? Good, 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 good vibrations.
Well done, Andy Parsons. OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is Ireland.
I learnt in Ireland last year that there is consternation over the legal age of consensual sex. The minimum age, which is a grey area, as is the maximum age. There is a bizarre law in Ireland, and I know this because an Irish politician spoke out against it, and the law stands like this. If two 16-year-olds in Ireland attempt to have sex and go all the way through with it, that's legal. But if two 16-year-olds in Ireland attempt to have sex but do not go all the way through with it, that's against the law. I don't know. As if there isn't already enough pressure on you. To get it right at the age of 16. Now, if you get it wrong, it's also a criminal offence. Imagine that sitting on the edge of her bed, humiliated, pants around your ankles, she's in tears, you've somehow flicked her in the eye with a condom. And the door bursts open. Police, you bollocks that up now, didn't you?
Adam Hills. OK, that leaves us with Frankie and Russell. Let's spin the wheel. The next topic is science. Frankie.
Viagra's overrated, isn't it? Do you know Viagra actually takes half an hour to have any effect? I often find that in that time, the woman has managed to wriggle free. You seen this thing on phones? The word cancer is on predictive text. Who's texting people the news that they've got cancer? I've got cancer. Laugh out loud. Sad face. Can I ask you something? How long is too long to text back to someone? My wife still thinks that I died on September the 11th. It's a good way of getting out of a relationship. A little trick I picked up off my dad shortly before his untimely death aboard the Challenger space shuttle.
Very good. OK, Russell, let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. OK, it's tabloids.
I heard this incredible story the other day. I was in Australia, and there was hysteria about whether it's right or wrong to teach 3-year-olds about gay relationships. And honestly, you should have seen the letters written in. Not in my name. This is nothing short of child abuse. And you sat there going, well, it's not, is it? What it is piss your pants funny. There's nothing wrong with being gay, of course there's not. But when you're 3, you're into custard and jumping. Occasionally, you can fit this into your hectic schedule. They want to bum each other. Busy, Mum. That's a hill, and I'm going to roll down it like I'm a sausage. So, I love the idea of this uber-liberal parent just going up to the 3-year-old. Tom, sometimes a lady can love a lady. Oh, like in Daddy's videos.
At the end of that round, the points go to Russell and Andy. Our next round is called If This Is the Answer, What is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Adam, which category would you like?
The economy, please, Dara.
The economy is the category. Yep. The answer is 691 million. What is the question?
My first thought was, how many people worldwide will watch Boris Johnson pick up the Olympic torch and think, ooh, David Bowie's let himself go?
Is it how much is a Kit Kat in Zimbabwe?
What speed does Jeremy Clarkson think is reasonable in the built-up area?
What does C-3PO shout when he ejaculates?
That's very... Is it how many shitty political cartoons with bears with the word Russia written on them printed in the last week?
Is it at what age did God have his midlife crisis? Oh, the son's left home.
Is it how many lies has the average grandad told? Oi, if you're watching, you didn't kill a bear.
What would the $6 million man cost now?
What does Kerry Katona claim in child benefit?
I know the actual answer. It's how much money did the Royal Bank of Scotland say that they'd lost this week?
Yes, exactly right. Well done. The question I was looking for is how much money in pounds did the Royal Bank of Scotland lose in the first half of 2008? It's the second biggest loss in UK banking history and was described by the company's chief executive as a chastening experience.
You know, with an overdraft that big, it's going to get bigger as well because they're going to have to start charging themselves 30 quid a cheque now.
The Royal Bank of Scotland, it has to be said, they've invested very badly, haven't they?
Yeah,
apparently they've sunk most of their money into Bone Kickers action figures, Georgian holiday cottages, and a movie where Chevy Chase plays John Leslie.
Well, it's the other way round. It'll be a brilliant film.
Does anyone here actually have an account with Royal Bank of Scotland?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so do I. So let's play a new game. What in my wallet is worth more than my actual Royal Bank of Scotland card now? Let's see, my Qantas frequent flyers, that's probably worth more. 20 Australian dollars. That's, what, 2 quid? What?
The Australian dollars.
Can I keep your cash card?
Wow. The Australian dollars have like a see-through. You can look through. How cool is that? And they're all like, wow. So you can make goggles with them because they're always out surfing. Oh, look at me and my goggles. I'm Australian. Look at me.
The banks are humped, aren't they? Do you know that the new advert for the Halifax is just Howard hanging from a noose, swinging while the voiceover says he missed his interest payments?
What I find incredible was the use of language. He lost 691 million and described it as a chastening experience. If I lost that amount of money, I'd make the noise of a badger with its nuts caught in a bike.
The government, they're actually allowing gambling adverts now for the first time. The only gambling adverts they're not allowing are apparently those gambling adverts that suggest that gambling might be a way out of debt. But those are the actual adverts I would quite like to see. You know, worried about bankruptcy? Well, why not consolidate all your loans into one easy bet on the 3:30 at Chelsea?
I'd like, you know, the whole thing with... Because of the credit crunch and also property prices dropping, in a couple of months' time, Grand Designs is going to get really interesting. Yeah, I'm doing the house up. I've got a budget of £4. But I might paint the door.
The Royal Bank of Scotland were apparently investing in what's known as toxic futures. There's a hint for you if you're buying toxic futures.
The thing is, though, this sort of money, that amount of money, is just some numbers on a computer sort of disappearing or reappearing or noughts go, you know. It must be very tempting at the point when you realise that. Someone will sneak up to you, goes, just type it back in. There's no actual stuff. I mean, nothing's caught fire or exploded or sunk or anything. Just a load of wanker bankers having made stupid bets with each other when they're drunk.
Do you reckon?
No bad thing has happened. It's not like all the pigs in South America suddenly died of blight. You know, it is just people were juggling with numbers that didn't exist, and it got out of hand because they're arseholes. We know they're arseholes for ages.
Can somebody tell me why you are not on Newsnight, David? It would improve this country so much if you just came in on every story. Well, this is pish. But the thing is, right, that Gordon Brown, he's wrecked the economy, and now they're also saying they might have a stamp duty holiday, so that's essentially killed the housing market. I've got a new theory, which is Gordon Brown is trying to buy a house. That would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it?
Well, he's going to be looking for a house relatively quickly.
But what's amazing, they keep telling us as well, they're on about staycations all the time. If you see this, we're going to take holidays.
Yes, holidays at home very
See
often.
with the credit card.
Who's going to have a holiday in Britain when you can fly to Rome on Ryanair or something for like £20? Would you rather be on holiday in Britain or 90 miles away from Rome? A lot of the airports now are so far from their destination. My holiday to Malaga, I took off in Heathrow and landed in Gatwick.
Thompson are actually offering holidays now, aren't they? For £2 a night.
I read the article about how it was £2 a night, and then it said, but there's a catch, in a really sort of judgmental way, but there's a catch, these arseholes. Of course there's a catch. £2 a night. Are people aware of the state of the currency? You don't get £2 a night for a proper holiday since 1840. Of course there's a catch. It's going to be difficult. If there's not a catch, the people running the company are about to be sectioned.
It'd be difficult to complain as well if it was £2 a night, wouldn't it? You know, you go, oh, my hotel's not been completed. There's no running water. Yes, sir. That's why it's £2 a night.
Oh, I have to pay for breakfast, do I? Oh, right. Suddenly this £2 a night holiday seems rather mean.
And so, you know what's weird is growing up in Australia, we often had times where we didn't go on holidays. We just stayed at home and went to the beach.
That's because your country is nice.
Australia, for God's sake. But actually, getting there's
fantastic
quite
holidays
dangerous,
in
isn't
Britain.
it? What with that Qantas plane, did you see that?
Oh,
there was a
yeah.
hole in the side of it, wasn't it? Because they thought an oxygen bottle had exploded. What had happened was apparently all the oxygen masks had come down, bar a couple, right? That would annoy you, wouldn't it? If everybody else's oxygen mask has come down and yours hasn't, you'd be hoping you were sat next to a kid, wouldn't you? You know? Oh, yes, I'll just help you put yours on after I've affixed mine first.
Do you think if yours doesn't come down, like, is the hostess or whatever sitting there and you're just going ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. At the end of that round, the points go to... At the end of that round, the points go to Frankie, Hugh and Adam. Now we come to our final quickfire round called Scenes We'd Like to See. This is for everyone, so if you can all make your way over to the performance area. I caught ideas for scenarios we'd love to see, and the performers come in with their suggestions. OK, here we go. The first subject is things you wouldn't hear at the Olympics.
The athletes will now go forward to receive their medals and complimentary prawn crackers.
And there is the Chinese coxless 4. It's a harsh punishment, but that's what happens if you lose a heat.
And look, there's Paula Radcliffe in a clown outfit holding a sparkler.
We can't find a national anthem to Togo. We're going to have to use the Benny Hill theme tune.
And that is a personal best. The first time I've managed to crack one off to the weightlifting.
Oh my God, things are really exciting here at the sailing.
And there goes the bell. Someone has stolen the bell.
Now, over to the Paralympics with Glenn Hoddle.
She's past 1, she's past 2. Paula Radcliffe is very ill indeed.
He medalled in Sydney, he medalled in Athens, and he's going to medal here unless someone catches him.
And coming up, your chance to watch teenagers in leotards without feeling bad.
To show you just how polluted this city is, the Javelin has got stuck in the sky.
The leading British swimmer has had to pull out of the 400 metres freestyle because he couldn't find £1 for the locker.
Well, we should have done better in the shooting, and this young team from South Manchester know it.
And anyone who thinks that this opening ceremony is amazing has never been to Blackpool on ecstasy.
OK, the next topic is lines you wouldn't hear in a war film.
We've managed to crack the Germans' code. Turns out they were sending messages in German.
Why are we speaking English?
I'm afraid we can't afford goggles. So what we're going to have to do, we're all going to have to go like this.
Terribly sorry, Sergeant. It's just that when you said let's all band together and take Jerry from behind...
OK, chaps, here's the strategy for escaping from the prisoner of war camp. We sit it out till the end of the war.
I can't feel my legs! That's because your arms have been blown off.
I'm saving Private Ryan. Money on his car insurance.
Is anyone else embarrassed that we've all turned up in the same outfit?
There's only one way to settle this war, through the medium of dance.
Don't worry, Tommy. I'll make sure she gets it. It's chlamydia, isn't it?
You've each been selected for this mission because you're unknown to the enemy and you each have a special skill. Professor Hawking, John Leslie, Phil Neville, the Wu-Tang Clan, Usher, the Sugar Puffs Monster, and Daniel Day-Lewis. Welcome to Operation Mindfuck.
At the end of that round, the points go to Frankie, Hugh and Adam. That's the end of the show. This week's winners are Andy Parsons, David Mitchell and Russell Howard. Commiserations to Frankie Boyle, Hugh Dennis and Adam Hills. Thank you for watching. I'm Dara Breen. Good night.
Keith Chegwin is among the guests in Never Mind the Buzzcocks at 10. Next here on BBC Two, the university's weather system has a funny turn in Lab Rats.
To Mock the Week. I'm Dara Breen. Joining me this week are Andy Parsons, David Mitchell and Russell Howard, Frankie Boyle, Hugh Dennis and Lucy Porter. We start with, if this is the answer, what is the question? On the board are 6 categories. Lucy, which category would you like?
Sport.
Sport. Your category is sport. The answer is 9. What is the question?
Is it how many people had heard of Yingling before we won a medal in it?
Is it how might a German text the word no?
What is the average number of fingers in Norfolk?
Is it how many toes has Sir Ranulph Fiennes left in the Antarctic?
Is it how many dwarfs were originally in Snow White before political correctness forced the removal of Poofy and Rapey?
Is it at what age did my imaginary friend set fire to the kitchen?
Is it how many weeks is Peach's Geldof marriage going to last?
How many days? All the stuff, Rapey the dwarf. It's just good, clean fun, is it?
That was the weirdest reaction of all. Steady on. Steady on.
Don't mock our Queen of Hearts.
She's a national treasure. She's done so much for us.
How many bullets would I need to correctly judge an episode of Britain's Got Talent?
How many medals has Ireland ever won in the course of its entire history?
That's not fair, is it?
Whoa, one thing, right. A, 1, wrong. B, currently we win all of ours in boxing. So probably best if you don't roil the Irishman. Right? Well, what are you going to do? Sail away from me while I'm chasing...
Was it how many medals did Britain win in a day last weekend?
Yes, that's absolutely right. The day was Saturday. Well done. Very good. The question I was looking for is how many medals did Great Britain's Olympic team win on Saturday? The haul of 4 golds, 1 silver and 4 bronze medals is the country's best return for a single day at the Olympics since 1908.
What are they successful at, though? Rowing? How typical of Britain to excel at a sport where you go backwards. And not even that quickly, because people just cycle along beside the rowers, just normal people, to show how slow they're going in real terms.
They don't cycle alongside as quickly as other British people would cycle alongside, do they?
If you just got every cyclist to hold a piece of scenery, it would look like nobody was moving at all.
Do you know, there was an Australian coach who said that he just said, you know, these medals are worth nothing because Britain only wins medals at the sitting down sports. And you think, well, just because, you know, swimming, that's fair, but at least we win at sports in which a human is best. If you're really good at swimming, you're always going to get beaten by a fish, right? If you're good at running, you're always going to get beaten by a cheetah. But you try putting a bloody pilchard on a bicycle...
So what you're suggesting...
Only humans can win at the sports that we do well in.
So hang on a minute. So you're suggesting after Phelps had won his 8th gold medal, we should have released a shark and gone beat that?
We'll give you a head start as well. Go on.
I really like that Rebecca Adlington. She's so normal. It's fantastic. She looks like she could work at Greggs. Do you know what I mean? That's what you can do. I've got to go bloody fast. I've left pasties in the oven. You know, she has that genuine attention.
The thing about her is she won't swim in the sea. She's going on holiday, but she's not
How
going
do
to
you
swim
know
in the
that?
sea.
Have you tested
it?
it?
Yeah. She won't swim in the sea because she's scared of it, because she knows a shark is faster than she is.
Weird. Who wants to swim that much? I mean, if your daughter says to you, yeah, I want to go swimming, OK, take her to the beach, take her for a swim. If she says, I want to go swimming at 6 in the morning and then for a further 4 hours after school every day, say, no, go up the park, drink some cider and have some disappointing sex.
What I don't quite understand with the swimming, though, is, you know, they have that green line that goes along the pool. Yeah. Why doesn't somebody grab hold of that?
I love the way whenever the swimming is on, there's big discussion about the fact that, you know, you don't have any 50-metre pools, right? As if, you know, if you don't train in a 50-metre pool, like, you'll get to 25 metres and then just naturally turn around and swim back again.
British people do train in rubbish pools, though, Dara. That's what we should do in the London Olympics, to even things up. we should make it more like a British pool. Let's see if Phelps can win if he's got to get past a fat guy doing breads and then tread water so he doesn't swim up an old woman's colon. Do you not think Phelps ruined the swimming? He was just too good. It wasn't a competition anymore. I think for the London Olympics we should have an event where it's just him swimming up and down the pool while Michael Barrymore tries to catch him.
The best thing about Phelps is that, well, not the best thing. He's an 8-time Olympic gold winner, but he's got ADHD. How tempted would you be if you were just swimming with him just before the race starts, just to get out like a tinfoil man and go shiny, shiny, and just go there, and just sort of looking like that, you know? I mean, technically that's abuse, but you'd win.
I'm mixing with OCD, sorry, because then you could just go, just on the blocks go, you left your locker open. Oh, God.
The event that I love in the cycling of all of them is the Kirin, which is fantastic, which is that one which looks like... It's 4 men in Lycra chasing a pizza delivery boy. On a little... How did that ever become a sport? I don't understand.
Well, it's very important that there have to be thousands and thousands of very slightly different sorts of cycling, because otherwise we wouldn't be anywhere on the medals table. There was just one gold for cycling. We'd have about 4 medals.
They're not even that different. It's like people would win 8 medals in the archery if you had an event where you just did the archery again wearing a hat.
Well, that's what we need to be thinking about for 2012. 50 different sorts of darts.
They also, in the swimming, though, they said that Michael Phelps is perfectly designed for swimming, which is bollocks. If he was, he'd have a fin, he'd have gills. That is why sharks are faster.
Here's another weird thing. Some of the events have different weight categories. Boxing, obviously. Weightlifting has different weight categories. And some of them are absolute. Rowing has different weight categories as well. But others don't. Like sprinting. Doesn't have fat bloke sprint. It doesn't have the 100 metres for guys over 25 stone. Just running, trying to keep themselves within the lane. Just trying to... just chaffing off each other as they ran. Which Britain didn't do so well.
Oh, Paula Radcliffe.
Oh, Paula Radcliffe, man.
She struggled.
I think if Paula Radcliffe is watching, you know, I mean, take comfort. I mean, it's not all bad. If you were a horse, you would have been shot by now. She did really badly in the marathon, and what was particularly galling was that at the finish line she was pipped by a guy in a gorilla costume.
What was great about it, did you see the footage? You know when she stopped halfway through the marathon? Just seeing the spectators go, oh, no, you don't. oh, no, she's stretching. Yeah, good for you, yeah.
It was one of the finest pieces of commentary. I think it was Steve Cram who said, well, Paul has learnt an important lesson. There are no shortcuts in the marathon. Was that what she was looking for, was it? Wait a minute.
Whole career.
Finishing line's over there. I'm going through here.
That'd be great, just a tiny man in a hat.
This way, Paula.
What is the one part of Michael Phelps' lifestyle that we could all do?
He eats loads.
The eating. The 12,000 calories. Honestly, I know so many teenagers who are on that diet already. Why aren't they in the Olympics?
Because he only eats plankton.
It's like Usain Bolt, though, isn't it? Usain Bolt was asked what was his preparation before the 100 metres, and he said, I got up, ate some nuggets, went back to sleep, got up, ate some more nuggets, and went to the stadium.
See, up until that last bit, that's my life. Yeah. That's my life in a nutshell. And then came down to the track. I don't normally do that bit, but to that bit, I'm living the Usain Bolt dream at that stage.
I thought Bolt was amazing. I mean, winning, beating the world record and slowing down at the end. How galling has that got to be for the other athletes? It could have only been more galling if he'd got out his camera phone and gone, hurry up, everybody, I want to try and get us all in this.
Totally. In 2012, he should just dress up as a snail. Just be saying, still going to win. Loser!
I've never managed to do anything in 9.69 seconds. It took me 10 seconds to watch him.
Did you see, though, the Liu Shang? He was the Chinese hurdler.
Chinese Great Hope, yes.
Yeah. Well, apparently the tickets have been going for £3,000 to watch him, right? Now, if you'd bought that ticket, you'd have been a bit pissed off, wouldn't you? If all you got was seeing him come into the stadium, seeing him have a false start, pull up, flex his ankle and piss off. You'd have probably thought that wasn't the best £3,000 you'd ever spent.
Yeah, well, that's capitalism for you. They better get used to it.
At the end of that round, the points go to Frankie, Hugh and Lucy. Now we play a round called Chariots of News. This game involves Lucy, Andy, Frankie and Russell, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This is where we test our performance stand-up skills. We spin our news generator settles on a topic and anyone can volunteer jokes about the chosen subject. The winner's the team I judge to produce the funniest stuff. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is leisure. Who wants to come in on that? Lucy Porter.
I was thinking leisure breaks are quite popular, aren't they? The leisure break, the mini break. But if you think about it, right, say if you ask a woman you know, how was your weekend? And she says, oh, my weekend, actually, you know that bloke Steve I've been telling you about? Well, I came out of work on Friday. Steve was waiting for me. He bundled me into the back of a taxi. He whisked me off to Paris. He locked me in a hotel room. He plied me with champagne. And he made love to me all weekend, right? Then you go, well, that's nice, don't you? Whereas, if you ask how her weekend was, and she says, well, you know that bloke Steve I was telling you about? I came out of work on Friday. Steve was waiting for me, bundled me into the back of a van, drove me to Watford, locked me in his bedroom, force-fed me Rohypnol and had sex with me all weekend, right? Then you'd probably go, oh, no, poor you, wouldn't you? But my point is that the difference there is mainly budget, isn't it, right?
Well done, Lucy. OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is technology. Who wants to come in? Andy Parsons.
Now, I saw a BP station with a wind turbine on the top of it last week. They're taking the piss, aren't they? What statement are they possibly trying to convey? Oh, don't worry, fill up with as much petrol as you like. Our cash register is powered by the wind. We have also had stories in the tabloids, haven't we, about people having problems with their sat-nav, which has taken them on to a railway line. Now, it's a gadget. You are supposed to also use your brain. If you've got a European sat-nav and you want to go to France, it will maybe direct you across the channel. But it expects you to get on a ferry.
Well done, Andy Parsons. OK, that leaves us with Frankie and Russell. Let's spin the wheel. OK, the next topic is animals. Frankie boy.
You heard this thing that the human female has exactly the same pheromone scent as an orangutan female? It was news to me. I'll never wear a blindfold again. They told me she was a Geordie. Incidentally, there are only two ways to have sex with an orangutan. Carefully and every which way but loose. I hate pets. People with pets. Having a pet is just basically saying, I have tried to find love among my own species. Is there anything sadder than seeing someone with a dog picking up dog shit? I suppose maybe someone without a dog. I don't know how long I could be a vet before I got bored and started shagging stuff. I'd shag an owl, because whatever position you took it from, you could always get eye contact. Or shag a kitten. You know, could you imagine having sex with something that you actually wanted to cuddle afterwards?
Frankie there addressing the topic of animals. Russell, let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. British society.
Thanks. There's a lot of idiots about, aren't there? I was in a sauna the other day with some men, which, you know, let's forget about that part of the story, but But there was this bloke who was just sat there going, I tell you what, this country's gone to the dogs. 5 years' time, guarantee it, this country, Sharia law. Everywhere you look, Sharia law. And his mate went, yeah, but the thing is, right, under that law, you can have 4 wives. And this bloke suddenly went, really? And you're like, make your mind up, mate. You Sid James or Enoch Powell. They're everywhere. Titties, ha-ha. He went mental. 4 wives, imagine the fun I'd have. 1 for every day of the week. It's wonderful when you see bigotry slapped, isn't it? I was on a train the other day. There was a bloke sat here, let's call him a dick, who was sat opposite a man of foreign persuasion, just go, why don't you go home, mate? Why don't you go home? And this hero looked back at this bloke and went, I am. That's why I'm on the train.
Well done, Russell. Points there go to Russell and Andy. Our next round is called Headliners. Here's a picture of Conservative leader David Cameron on his way to work. But what does CSBS stand for?
Come a speeding bus soon.
Is it concealed snipers begin shooting?
I know what it is. It's condom salesman bring supplies.
Cameron stimulated by speed bumps?
There's something about broken society, I think.
Yes, it is, but yeah, the BS is Cameron does something to broken society.
Cameron sellotapes. Broken society.
Shag.
Slams. Support.
Slates.
Slams. Slams. I'll give you slam. Well done. Very good. Yes, Cameron slams broken society. Well done. The answer I was looking for was Cameron slammed broken society. This is the news that David Cameron has vowed to be as radical a social reformer as Margaret Thatcher was an economic reformer. The revelation comes in a newly published book in which he pledges to heal what he called Britain's broken society.
I don't think he's going to mend our broken society by slamming it. I think it's a sort of old television approach to mending a thing, isn't it? Slam the broken society and it will mend it.
Well,
don't slam it, be careful with it. Get someone to mend it, someone who knows what they're doing.
No, what frightening experience, by the way, did Cameron?
He had a white van man follow him on his bicycle.
Indeed,
and it scared him. And he said that what was really frightening about it was that the white van kept on stopping and starting. Those were traffic lights, Dave. You were meant to stop as well.
Well, didn't the guy try to run him off the road? And I think it's quite sad, actually, because of all the crimes that I'd like to see happen to David Cameron, that's one of the least funny. I'd much rather see him happy slapped by an enormous transsexual.
I got run over by a white van man on my... At least he pulled out of a turning. I hit the side of him and I flew over his bonnet.
You were in a bike?
I was on a push bike, yeah. And I flew past the windscreen. And driving this van were 2 Chinese men. And as I flew past, like, just, sort of coming through, I looked at them and there was absolutely no reaction on their faces. They just went... And as I flew through, I thought, is this because they're Chinese? Are there a lot of bicycle accidents in China?
Do you think they drove off going, wasn't that the bloke from My Hero?
Yeah. Oh, he can fly in that show. He can fly in real life too. Yeah.
I first became aware of him in the Mary Whitehouse experience.
Did we have to do 3 people having a crack at the accents?
He now does mock the week, but I don't like that because of racist Chinese people.
Maybe they get points for all the Mary Whitehouse team. They're just driving around. Next, it's back there.
No, he was attacked by a man in a van, yeah. He said the guy kept...
I hope whoever's done that to David Cameron is proud of themselves. I mean, seriously, well done.
Cameron said, I'm not at all smug.
It's not for him to say, is it? We'll be the fucking judge of how smug you are, you smug shit.
You're like a mafia overlord,
yeah, but, honestly, I'm not smug and I'm not horrible and I'm not dishonest. Shut up, do things.
What did he recently distance himself from?
Cameron's distanced himself from this mad report about the North that said the North is terrible, everybody should leave it and move to the South, which is ridiculous because, as you know, in the North of England you can leave your door open because there's nothing in your house worth nicking. Nobody's going to want a tin bath and a VHS box set of Adam Sandler videos. I think the North is underrated. I've done my research and a lot of people in the North have a kestrel. want to become a dancer.
My favourite line, though, from the report was that
You have a favourite line
Yeah,
from a report?
Listen to this.
Do you underline reports, like with a marker pen and stuff like that?
Mother, fetch the pen, it's going to be a good day. My favourite line from it, or a line that I enjoyed, was that one of the guys said that people living in Bolton and Oldham had lost their raison d'etre. That is fantastic, isn't it? As if, what is it? I've lost my raison d'etre. Well, where did you have it last? I've left it near me joy de vivre. Come on. There you go.
The reasoning, because they've said that they should sort of everyone from the failing northern cities should move to places like Oxford and Cambridge. Because Oxford and Cambridge are very nice, high employment, you know, pretty and everything. So that should be fine. That's perfect reasoning, isn't it? Except if everyone from Bolton rocks up at Oxford, it's not going to be as nice. I've got nothing against people from Bolton. It's just the tens of thousands of homeless people arriving saying, we're here to become dons at the university, is that OK?
Do you reckon
not going to work?
Do you reckon people in Oxford, if they heard this news, were like, just throw away their Yakult? No, it's rubbish. It's rubbish here. Hide the truffles.
Take to the river.
Yeah.
Quick, let's get out of here.
That'd be great if they're like that. They'll ruin Morse. They'll ruin Morse. Lewis, someone's ram-raided Matalan.
How was Cameron Rufford number 10 this week?
Oh, the great thing is he went to Georgia. And the Georgians must be delighted to see Cameron rock up. They're glad to have his support. That's like securing the support of both Chuckle Brothers and Andy Townsend. Oh, we should be sorted now. The Kremlin must have gone into hysterics just trying to find out who Cameron was on Google. Oh, apparently he's got an AGA and his wife makes stationery. What shall we do?
When Cameron turned up, do you think the Georgian president was sort of going, is he going to pay for what he eats when he's here? Is his hotel, that's not on us, is it? Because this is just some guy.
That is, he was just some... Until he's elected, he is just some guy.
Yeah.
He's just some nosy guy who wanted to have a look around. Oh, I like what you've done with the place.
I think a lot of people on both sides are now kind of a bit sorry that they took the Berlin Wall down. I think they're thinking that they should have just put patio doors in and see how things went. It was good the way Georgia kicked off because Putin was at the Olympics. They thought it would be too busy. As if Putin doesn't have 36 robot body doubles. Oh, you've met me before. Was my hair parted to the left? That was Vladimir Putin, 36.
It kicked off, didn't it? It kicked off between Georgian and Russian athletes, but it kicked off in the beach volleyball, the women's beach volleyball team, were the ones who started going at each other.
It is the one direct clash between Georgia and Russia in the Olympics was, it couldn't have been better, the women's beach volleyball. And Georgia won.
Do you see when Bush had to meet the women's volleyball team and they wanted him to smack them on the bottom?
Yeah.
But he wouldn't do it. Do you think Bill Clinton would have missed that opportunity? Bill Clinton would have had to have been brought up to the volleyball team tied up like Hannibal Lecter.
OK, at the end of that round, the points go to Russell, David and Andy. Team. Now we come to our final quickfire round called Scenes We'd Like to See. This is for everyone, so if you could make your way over to the performance area. I caught ideas for scenarios we'd love to see, and the performers come in with their suggestions. OK, here we go. The first subject is questions that were rejected from this year's exams.
If the answer is 9, what is the question?
When you finish this exam, please will you turn your paper over and mark it?
Using Darwin's theory of evolution, explain Boris Johnson.
Vladimir has 10,000 tanks and you have 3. Why would you start a war? Discuss.
By the year 2015, the population of the Earth will have increased by 20%. How do we find Kerry Katona and stop her?
Complete the following sequence. 16, 35, 24, 8, 9. Now open the safe, grab the stuff and get in the getaway car.
An object is travelling at 750 miles an hour, encounters resistance and slows to zero. For how many months will Richard Hammond have to wear nappies?
On the diagram below, show on the body where you like to be touched.
Describe Uranus without telling your parents.
Amy is 16. At least she said she was. How much trouble are you in?
Complete this crop rotation. Wheat, fallow, rock festival, BNP rally.
If everybody in Class A is called Tom, Thomas or Tommy, and every second boy in Class B is called Tim, Timothy or Timmy, what the fuck is going on?
OK, the next topic is lines you wouldn't hear in a costume drama.
Henry Tudor. But why did he chew her?
The Zulus have us surrounded, sir. They're standing on the horizon waving their spears. Wait a minute. Those aren't spears.
Mr. Darcy, I do believe you've poked me on Facebook.
So, King Henry, I'm your 5th wife. Hang on, divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, but... Oh, shit.
And for the latest news from the big house, tune in to Pride and Prejudice Extra, starting now on BBC Three.
Next, Pride and Extreme Prejudice, where Elizabeth is surprised to hear Mr. Darcy's views on queers and Jews.
You think wearing this bustle makes my arse look big?
Let me read the signal from the Victory. Are you paying too much for your car insurance?
I worked for the Duke of Wellington when he invented the Wellington boot, and the Earl of Sandwich when he invented the sandwich. But I suppose my happiest time was working for Lord Strap-on.
My liege, your desire to marry again will split the church. Does it have to be a gay Nigerian?
Ah, the Duke! My daughter has been itching to meet you. Chlamydia!
The points at the end of that round go to Frankie, Hugh and Lucy! That's the end of the show. This week's winners are Frankie Boyle, Hugh Dennis and Lucy Porter. Commiserations to Andy Parsons, David Mitchell and Russell Howard. Thank you for watching. I'm Dara Breen. Good night.
Well, the comedy is not just new, it's brand new. Next on BBC Two, kids with a footballing dream, but it's the dads who are living it for them, getting a bit too involved in the cup coming up. And then Never Mind the Buzzcocks at 10.
Welcome to Mock the Week. I'm Dara Breen. Joining me this week are Andy Parsons, Fred McCauley and Russell Howard, Frankie Boyle, Hugh Dennis and Greg Proops. We start with a round called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Fred, which category would you like?
Home news, please.
OK, the category is home news. The answer is 1,433 days. What is the question?
Is that the number of days it will take a sobbing Carol Vorderman to watch reruns of Countdown?
Is it at what point do libraries abandon fines and introduce hitmen?
Is it after the recent bankruptcy? How long before Kerry Katona's family eat anything but chicken drumsticks?
If the Russians say they will withdraw today, when will they actually withdraw?
What size gap in Gary Glitter's CV is filled with the entry, travelling in Asia?
Is it? How long does it take Stephen Hawking to sing Bohemian Rhapsody?
Is it how long does it take my nan to send a text?
Is it, I am the leap year killer, when will I strike next? It's how long till the next Olympics?
It's essentially it. Well done, Frankie. Very good. The question I was looking for is, after the official handover in Beijing on Sunday, how long to the London 2012 Olympics? The 4-year countdown began as Boris Johnson took the flag in the Bird's Nest Stadium during the closing ceremony. Look at him. Could he not have closed the button on his jacket? And then there's a bit where he put his hands in. No one uses those pockets for hands.
Of all the things, right, that I knew he didn't know how to do, I now know he doesn't know how to wave a flag either. The Chinese thought that he was the London Olympic mascot. Oh, an albino Labrador. Good choice.
What's lovely is the one time we come together as a nation, because we're all sat there watching it going, don't do the voice, you know? Oh, there should have been like a press the red button to go inside Boris's mind. Wouldn't that have been amazing? Just to hear him go, la-di-da-di-doo, da-da-da-da. It's like being at Souths again, I miss Granny Butter, la-di-da-di-da.
Watching him try not to make a gaffe surrounded by 200 different races was like watching Mel Gibson getting drunk at a bar mitzvah.
And the only thing that was a bit weird that your image for London was an exploding red bus.
The original plan was that they have a subway train come, and then dancers formed barriers. A British hurdler leapt over the barriers and got shot 5 times in the head.
It was like a transformer that had been designed by Alan Titchmarsh. Do you know what I mean? One minute it was a bus, then it was a hedge, you know.
At least it wasn't a bendy bus, then there really would have been carnage, wouldn't it? Because they've actually got that little thing on the back of bendy buses. Have you seen them? This bus is 18 metres long. Don't tell us, tell the bloody driver. He hasn't got a clue.
I thought it was quaint and curious, you know? I mean, that's how England sees the world. Wouldn't you rather have a red bus and people with brawlies than, like, 2 drunk yobs beating the shit out of each other outside a pub or whatever?
Oh, well, they tried that, you know, that was plan B, all right, just to have a simulated knife fight in the middle of it. But there's even a bit where Leona Lewis was being raised up and the dress was unfurling behind her, and she looked more and more like that thing your granny would put over toilet rolls. Just to protect you from the view of toilet rolls.
What was weird about that was that the rest of the world, you know, Leona Lewis to the rest of the world is 48 feet tall now. She's enormous, and the rest of the world must be thinking, well, if they've got someone like that, why didn't they use her in the high jump? She could have won every event, the hurdles, a 50-metre swimming. There would have been no swimming. She would have just had to fall forwards into the pool and touch the other end. She would have broke it. It was just ridiculous, the whole thing.
What I was hoping, you know, when the bus opened up, that there would just be a stray tramp in there, just going, yeah!
Or it's just Beckham sat beside some nutter who's telling him that he invented Tupperware.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been brilliant, wouldn't it?
But if you're going to get Beckham, right, get him to take a trademark free kick that sets off some fireworks or something. He just humped the ball into the crowds. It hit a dancer.
He actually, the crowd of 10,000 people, he almost missed the crowd. The crowd of 10,000.
I'd have liked to have seen him kick his wife into the crowd.
Did you see this Chinese volunteer caught it, and you could tell he just looked at his mates with that look that went, eBay? Oh, that's...
Bex lives in Los Angeles now. Wouldn't it have been more authentic if he pulled out a gun and just did a drive-by on the crowd?
The best thing, though, did you see the speech that Boris Johnson gave when he said that ping pong was coming home? And we were all sat there going, please don't say you found a cleaner. Do you know what I mean? It was that... But... it turned out we were all wrong, and that ping pong apparently was invented in England, but it was called whiff-waff. And it was called whiff-waff because that was the noise that the bats made in the air.
This was a whole round of QI.
Well, to be honest, what I was thinking, he's the mayor of London simply because he was popular on a panel show. Frankie, you're going to be PM.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Don't applaud, you have some very tough years ahead of you.
I wouldn't be that embarrassed about Boris Johnson. I'm from California, and Arnold Schwarzenegger is our governor. We went that extra step of electing a fictional character from the movies to be our chief executive. Because he fooled the predator by putting mud on his face. Not a lot of chief executives would think of that. Boris Johnson would be a glistening skull gleaming on the predator's trophy shelf right now.
But do you reckon, though, because it was called whiff-waff because of the noise, do you reckon he calls all other sports by similar names? Tennis, or as I call it, thwack doink, or diving whoosh splash bad.
By the way, how did the last week of the Olympics pan out?
Well, we had the mess up in the relay, which could have actually been worse. I don't know if you've ever seen the havoc that someone having an erection can cause in a relay race. I actually got off quite lightly. The thing one really said about Rebecca Adlington is that she looks pretty weird. She looks like someone who's looking at themselves in the back of a spoon. And then... when she arrived back on the flight, she met her boyfriend. Did you see her boyfriend? He was really attractive. He was like a male model. So, from that, I have deduced that Rebecca Adlington is very dirty. I mean, if you just take into account how long she can hold her breath.
And you're thinking she may be
Crazy! Sitting at home for the first weekend after the game, medals jangling in Mansfield, new shoes on, loving the new kind of look of the place, like whatever. And then, I haven't seen Mock the Week in about 4 weeks' time. I wonder who they're tearing it. That was a brief...
He's got a point. I'm dirty.
Can I just point out something, though? There's a mispronunciation been going on with our leading cyclist. It's actually, because he's Scottish, he's actually known as Chris. Oi! Come back with my bike! Bastard!
Did you see on the jumbo jets, because we did so well, we had a gold nose? And I love the idea that all the drug cheats had to go home in a plane that had a red nose with just white bits on it like that.
I like the way as well they got them all to come off the plane in the order of how many medals they'd won.
Yeah.
That was horrible. Paula Radcliffe was probably in an overhead locker or something.
How does Gordon Brown want future medal hopes to prepare for 2012?
Oh, he's making it more competitive in schools. That's his aim, isn't it?
What he's actually said is he wants every pupil to have 5 hours of sport a week before 2012. And let me just tell him, a week before 2012 is leaving it far too late. And 5 hours of sport is frankly not going to be enough, is it?
Yeah, they're not rubbish.
How is it going to help us to become more competitive? How does that address the real concerns of Britain in any way? In 20 years' time, when a largely submerged London is being attacked by a platoon of Al-Qaeda's jihad scuba warriors, will it really help that we're slightly better at basketball?
Luckily, you'll be in the highest office in the land at that stage.
Citizens of New Atlantis, we must self-destruct. Prime Minister Boyle, you say that in every crisis. This time I mean it.
At the end of that round, the points go to Russell, Fred and Andy. Now we play a round called Musicalifragilisticexpialidocious. This game involves Greg, Andy, Frankie and Fred, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This is where we test our performers' stand-up skills. We spin our news generator, it settles on a topic, and anyone can volunteer jokes about the chosen subject. The winner is the team I judge should produce the funniest stuff. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is health. Who wants to come in on that? Annie Parsons.
Leslie Ash. Now, she's just got compensation, didn't she? Because she got MRSA. The reason she was in hospital, right, was apparently she'd punctured a lung and broken 2 ribs during energetic sex. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm thinking she was doing it wrong. If somebody said to me, would you like to have sex, but it could end up in you puncturing your lung, I think I'd go, oh, you go ahead, I'll sort myself out.
OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is George Bush. Who wants to come in?
Oh, I'll go. Well, what can I say about George Bush? He's doing a tremendous job and he's enormously popular right now. In the last poll in the United States, he came in just behind testicular cancer. He's the only president I can remember who wears an American flag pin on his lapel. Why? So he can remember what country he's in charge of? Ladies and gentlemen of America, he's always banging on about 9/11, right? 9/11, 9/11. Or, as the rest of the world knows it, 11/9. We're the only people who date that way. America's so arrogant because we put the month first. We think everybody knows what we mean. Imagine how perplexing that is to people in France. 9/11. What happened on November 9th? That was a good day. I got a hand job. Why are they crying all the time? Thank you.
Thank you. OK, that leaves us with Frankie and Fred. Let's spin the wheel. The next topic is modern men. Who wants to come in on that? Fred Macaulay.
There's a trend for modern young men now to get waxed. I did recently have my legs waxed. I have to say it was for charity. And my pals were saying, have you ever had that done before, Macaulay? And I'm going, no. Well, it could be painful. So I went along. I was ticket number 14. There were 13 ladies in front of me getting their legs waxed. And I was watching them with interest. And there seemed to be no bother at all. The wax is going on. It's kind of, oh, Joanne. What is it, Tess? Who's picking the kids up? Oh, the au pair will get them. Nothing to it, I think. I got up there. The wax was on. I'll never walk again! What I didn't know is that women, when they're getting their legs waxed, have epidurals beforehand. I mean, I'm not tempted, you know, to shave other parts of my anatomy, you know. I've been lonely and fed up in hotel rooms, but I've never once thought, I think I'll get the sharpest thing in my toilet bag out and apply it to the wrinkliest part of my anatomy. And I'm not talking about my elbows.
Fred Macaulay. OK, let's see what we've been left with for Frankie. Let's spin the wheel. Children.
What an unbelievably sinister photograph. Don't worry, this is light-hearted whimsy. I've got a wee baby now, he's 9 months. I'm starting to get a bit fucking sick of him, to be honest. I went to the bath, and going to the bath, it really does bring home the wonder, the miracle, I suppose, that is contraception. Seriously, don't go. It's like watching the deleted scenes from Platoon. I got a wee daughter now, she's 4. And the other day, this is true, we're sitting having breakfast, and my daughter goes, Daddy, what's the best thing in the world? So I didn't even have to think about it, right? I said, darling, you're the best thing in the world. Didn't even have to think about it. It's definitely you. And she sat there for a bit, and then she went, for me, it's sausages.
Ladies and gentlemen, that round, the points go to Frankie and Greg. Our next round is called Headliners. Here's a picture of America's former power couple, Bill and Hillary Clinton. But what does CADC stand for?
Is it cheerleaders' arse distracts Clintons?
I think they're saying goodbye to Barack Obama. Cheerio and don't call.
Clinton's assassination dreams continue.
Clinton announces deepening chlamydia.
How about Clinton's accept defeat childishly?
How would you do? Would you just go, oh, you're the winner, you're the winner. I'm Barack Obama.
Is it Carl?
Is it Chimpanzee and Maisie drugged couple? He's just like that. And they're like...
That would amaze me. I'm sorry, no drugs involved, but that would amaze... If a chimp went... you go, that is one hot chimp.
Come on, that would amaze you if you can train them to move a piano.
Or make tea.
To be honest, how much money would you love to go to London Zoo just to see one day a pole dancer training a monkey how to dance? Let's do it. We've got clout.
When he's in the highest office, when you're premier.
To be honest, that is number one on the list.
Is it Clinton's address Democratic Convention?
It is, of course. Well done, Hugh. There you go.
The answer I was looking for was Clinton's address Democratic Convention. This is the news that Hillary and Bill Clinton have both separately delivered speeches at the 2008 Democratic Convention taking place this week in Denver. In her speech, Hillary called for her supporters to back Barack Obama in his quest to become the next president of the USA.
Do you know what was weird, though, was that she did it in this orange sort of jumpsuit, though, which suggested to me that the words had been extracted under torture.
It's very exciting to see Bill Clinton again because you guys might remember he was the last elected American president. After the last two elections, I'm surprised Haiti didn't invade us to install a democracy.
Now, talking about Obama being under pressure at the convention, aren't you thinking, is there an easier gig in the world? I mean, there's nothing that he could say that wouldn't earn him a standing ovation. He could stand up there and go, I killed a tramp once, it made me feel horny. He could put his hand under his armpit and fart the theme tune to Cagney and Lacey.
I mean, before we get up, they are in the process of possibly electing a black leader. You know, next mayor here went to Eton, and you know, so it's not as if it's like, oh, look at them, they're so backward over there.
There's loads of really rubbish satire as well. I was reading on the internet the other day that some guy went, he's never going to win. It's called the White House, and you're like. It's a ridiculous point to make. By that token, only Martians can work for Greenpeace, and you know you have to be a Smurf to work for Ribena. It's ridiculous. You know?
A large proportion, a significant, possibly, you know, enough Americans won't put a cross next to a black man unless it's on fire. So.
Wow.
I'm not supporting that, by the way.
You got to remember, it's the United States. You know, people are like, a black guy? You can't have a black guy. He's all articulate and well-spoken, and he wears a suit, and he's written 2 books. I ain't never read a book in my life. I just play Xbox all day long and eat Cheetos and beat my sister while I'm having sex with her because my team lost, and, you know, people flip out. And they,
All I can say, Greg, is, would you like a job as Chancellor of the Exchequer? Do you know that 12% of Americans think that Obama's a Muslim?
Yeah.
12%, and now he's got Biden as his vice president candidate, so the ticket is now Obama-Biden. Could they get more of the letters of Osama bin Laden?
Did you see in the hotels every night they're leaving little speeches that Obama has given on the pillows in all the hotels in Denver? Imagine if they did that for the Labour conference. It'd be fantastic. Just one of Brown's. I regularly used to look at photos of my dad's trip to Israel.
What is it, though? What is it with these white supremacists? I didn't say that.
They're all for supremacy. They want.
That's what I can't stand
They're screaming for more supremacy for us whites. They were central casting. 2 men called Cletus got picked up with a gun in the boot of their car.
And Mr. Adolf.
Yes, Sean Adolf was the name of the guy. Is there anything more guaranteed to possibly ring an alarm bell on a screen? So your name is what? Adolf. That's an interesting name. I've not heard that since. Wait a minute.
Do you not think it's weird that we report American news as if it's our news?
Yeah.
Do you think NBC News are sitting there going, breaking news about Nick Clegg? The Americans think that Tony Blair rules Britain because he's the Queen's boyfriend?
In other news, what unusual creatures have been spotted around Britain recently?
Oh, jellyfish!
Jellyfish, yes!
It's a jellyfish,
Jellyfish.
There are jellyfish off the coast of Worthing. And I don't know if you know this, Dara, but the way to cure a jellyfish sting is to piss on it. I think a lot of perverts are going to be congregating around the Sussex coast with people going, "Hey, what are you doing? A jellyfish stung you. You threw it at me."
And it's not even it's just a jelly. You just threw a jelly at me. Stop throwing jelly at people and then urinating on them.
Isn't that amazing thing? Imagine how unlucky you'd feel, right, if you saw a bloke who was asleep on the beach and he kind of, you know, had a vicious scar and he was like that and he started weeing on it and it turned out it was a birthmark. That would be bad luck, would it not? Although, to be honest...
It would be a tremendous episode of Mr. Bean.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about the state of Britain's beaches, aren't they? But actually, do you want them to clean up Britain's beaches? Because what will happen if you clean up the beaches? Families will start going there, walking their pit bulls and slapping their kids. At least at the minute, I can put on a wetsuit, go and sit in the turds and be on my own.
I don't know if you've seen the forthcoming episodes of Wish You Were Here, but look forward to that greatly.
What other creatures
I'll
are there?
tell you what there is. There's a shark off the coast of Aberdeen.
Yeah.
Have you seen him?
No.
And there's a real danger there because if it eats enough Scottish people, it'll die from cholesterol poisoning.
You know, they were conducting the search for the shark from sea, air and land. You know? Put me down for the land shift. Yeah, we're over there somewhere.
He's not been spotted in Tesco. Over.
There's apparently also been an increase in wasps, and like they were going to sort of destroy a whole group of wasps, and then there was animal rights people who'd complained, you know, but they're wasps. As far as I'm concerned, right, wasps, right, you can have as many cosmetics tested on wasps as you like by Revlon.
Someone who works for Revlon could apply lipstick to a wash. They are skilled. That is impressive. Looks good. Sell it.
Thinking about the poor wasp that has to go back to the hive with a lipstick on, yeah. 10,000 other wasps going, have you seen Dave?
This is all happening because of global warming, isn't it? So animals' migration patterns are changing.
Yeah.
But on the bright side, wildlife programme ratings are going to go through the roof. You know, Bill Oddie going, let's look at these nesting badgers. Oh, this puma's going to fuck it up. Look at that.
It's got Kate Humble in its jaws. Nothing can save her now. Kate, any final words? At the end of that round, the points go to Frankie, Hugh and Greg. Now we come to our final quickfire round called Scenes We'd Like to See. This is for everyone, so if you can all make your way to the performance area, please. I call it ideas for scenarios we'd love to see, and the performers come in with their suggestions. OK, here we go. The first subject is unlikely greetings cards.
Congratulations, you're 18 on a list of 20 people I'm going to kill.
My heart goes out in sympathy. I know your life is torn. I can't believe your dear, sweet mum caught you watching all that porn.
Congratulations on conquering your drug and alcohol dependency. We're having a party to celebrate, but you can't come.
I know you're green. I've done my bit. This card is made of recycled shit.
Get well soon. P.S. I know it's terminal, but they didn't have a card for that.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I'm locked up in Broadmoor and thinking of you.
Thinking of you at this difficult time has given me an erection.
You're moving! We've repossessed your house.
Congratulations on passing your test. You have HIV.
OK. The next topic is things you didn't hear at the Olympics.
I am the little girl from the opening ceremony. This is my real voice.
That gymnast is so supple. If my wife could do that, we'd still be together.
Next, the rhythmic gymnastics. you might want to start beating out your own rhythm at home.
That English track team is awesome!
And it's gold for Ireland!
Well, that'll be low marks for synchronicity, but high marks for execution. Clean shot to the head, backwards off the board, pool full of blood, magnificent.
Next, over to Gabby Logan, who's going to tell us whether or not she's a transvestite.
And here...
Go on, go again, man, go again. Do it.
And there's fuck all for Ireland!
No, I'm not letting you off for the last Ireland joke. You're not getting on again for the rest of the show. You are not doing another one for the rest of the show, all right?
You've just been
Oh, let's look at the clock. It's more interesting than the show jumping.
The one thing we're all thinking during the Olympics, doesn't Claire Balding look like Eddie Izzard?
Nobody can touch this Russian gymnast except their coach and their uncle.
And here comes...
Hugh Dennis.
Well, what a morning. We've got medals in the Yingling, Tiddly and Poe.
Chinese athlete with number 36 in his chest. That means he's a chicken chow mein.
And here...
And the French have 4 faults: their language, their food, their underarm hair, and the fact that they are French.
A surprise in the canoeing, where the British athlete has gone missing.
It was after I heard the buzzer that I realised there was one thing I hadn't heard at the Olympics, right, was fuck it.
The end of that round, the points go to Frankie, Hugh and Greg. That's the end of the show. This week's winners are Frankie Boyle, Hugh Dennis and Greg Proops. Commiserations to Andy Parsons, Fred McCauley and Russell Howard. Thank you for watching. I'm Dara Breen. Good night.
Never Mind the Buzzcocks is here on BBC Two in half an hour. But first, Ashburn United are looking for a new coach and there are more than a few takers. New comedy The Cup next.